Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a branded Google Doc. After we create a style guide for a lot of our clients and make their brand look really beautiful, what they want is, well, I want to create worksheets that I really don't want to, some of them want a PDF because their clients will print it out and fill it in by hand. But some of our clients, their audience is more digital. And so they want to have like a fillable worksheet. So the solution is a Google Doc. I'm going to show you just a really simple way to brand a Google Doc and make it look beautiful and simple so that you can share this with clients. All right, so this is what we're shooting for, the end result, and I'm going to show you how to create this, and then then you'll be good to go. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go to File and Page Setup, and you want to zero out these top and bottom margins, and that will just give us more space to play and add certain design elements. You'll click OK, and you'll see the cursor will go all the way up to the top, which isn't a problem. What we want to do next is we want to insert a header. All right, and then we want to insert a drawing and click New, and then you're going to draw a shape, and I'm just going to draw like a rectangle and make it long and thin. And then the color, I don't actually want there to be a border, so I'm going to make the border transparent. And then the fill color, I'm actually going to go to my style guide to grab that. This is the style guide that Dina Rudder, who's the brand designer that I work with for all of my website projects, she created this for me. And so I'm going to grab that bright red color for this to fill it. So I'm going to click fill color, and then you can actually add a custom color by clicking on the plus. I'm just going to paste in my code, which adds a space in between. So I'll just remove all those spaces. And then I'm going to click OK. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to click Save and Close, and that's going to add it to the header. But we don't want to have all this spacing around it. As you'll see, we want it to go all the way up to the top and be flush. So the way to do that is to actually wrap text. If you're selected on the block, you can click wrap text and then move the margin to 0. And then you can drag this around and actually make it wider too. Well, it looks like mine was actually a little bit thinner. So to make it thinner, you just click on that bottom section to click and drag. Yeah, that looks about right. All right, so that's how you add that nice design accent at the top. And then the other thing that I want to do here in the header, while I'm still in here, if it looks like you might have gotten clicked out, all you do is just double click at the very top of the page, and that'll open up the header again. I want to actually add my logo here too. See how I've got my logo at the top? And if we go down to a new page, you'll see that the red line and the logo are repeated. And that's why we need to have the logo in the header and not just on the page itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an image, upload from my computer, and then we're going to go to desktop. That's where I have my logo image, but you just navigate to wherever it is on your computer. And then we need to just drag this to be a little bit smaller. I am also I think I'm going to break text on this one because I want to be able to drag it around a little bit more. And if you break text, then you can put it kind of wherever you want. Look at that. It looks like I had it a little bit bigger actually. All right, there you go. So that is adding that design accent and your logo. And then the other thing that we want to do is we want to add a footer here. You just see down here, I just added my website as just kind of plain text. So what you do is to add that footer is you go to Insert Headers and Footers and then click Footer, and then it will automatically pull in a footer. And I'm going to center that and just type in my web address. And I'm going to select it all and change the font so that it's my brand font, which is Montserrat. You can also type in, or you can scroll through here actually to find a font that works for your brand. You'll see on my brand board, Montserrat is one of mine. So I'm going to click on that, go there, and then the one thing that I will say about footers is I've actually played around with trying to do what I did up here and actually add an image to the footer, add add my logo down there instead of at the top, or add in like another color, block of color. But the thing about Google Docs is the footer, it's really kind of impossible to put images in the footer and have them stay there because they don't lock in the footer. If I put an image here and then I clicked out, and as I put text down the page, if I went onto a second page, it would just push the image down into the second page. It wouldn't actually keep it in the footer. So Just something to note with if you like playing around with Google Docs, don't waste your time trying to get an image in the footer. I've tried, it doesn't work. All right. Okay, and so the next thing we want to do is we want to add a headline up here. And so what I do is I go to title, and that makes it a nice big title. I'm actually going to put the font to be Montserrat again, and then I'm just going to type worksheet template. Actually, I think I had it as all caps here. You can really do whatever you want, all caps, not all caps, whatever you like. And I'm going to bold this too. I just like the contrast of that. And now that I look here, I see that my logo is actually a little bit too far over. So I'm going to double click on this header again, and then I'm going to drag my logo over so that it looks a little more in line. There we go. That's better. All right. And then that's my headline added then. And so now if you just kind of press enter, it actually takes it back down to normal text, which is great. I'm going to change that font back to Montserrat because it'll change it back to Arial again, the default font. If you change from one type of text here in this drop down to another, it'll go back to Arial. So I'm down here, I'm in Montserrat. I want the font size to be a little bit bigger too, maybe like 14. I think that's what I used here. Yeah. And then I'm just going to put in my questions. I'm actually just going to copy and paste. You may have your questions somewhere else. And the thing to do when you're copying and pasting is to paste without formatting, because if I copied and pasted from here, this is styled as Montserrat already, so it actually wouldn't be a problem if I didn't paste as plain text. But if you're copying and pasting from like a Word doc or a PDF or something, your worksheet questions, then it will bring in, if you don't paste as plain text, it'll bring in the formatting from wherever you copied from, and you don't really want that. You've already taken the trouble to change the fonts and sizes and stuff, so you want to leave it as is. All right, and then I'm just gonna paste in the rest of my questions just to save you guys time watching. I'm going to add in a little spacing so that my clients have a little bit of room here. And that's pretty much it. You can put in as many questions as you want. You could even have multiple pages and have it go down onto a new page, and you just see that it brings in the header and the footer that we added earlier, which is really great. The one other thing that I would make sure to add though is when you share this with someone, you want to just share it by clicking that share button in the top right, and then you can click get shareable link, and you just want anyone with the link to be able to view this. You don't want them to be able to change it, because then you have to go and make a new copy for each client, and it's just easier for them to make their own copy. So I actually copy the link as can view, and then I share it with clients, and then so that they know they need to go up here to file and make a copy that they then can edit on their own Google Drive. What I do is I actually will space this down, and I'm going to change this from a title back to normal text and add a little space there. Montserrat, I'm actually going to leave it small. And then what I like to do is, you'll see that I did it here. I'm just going to copy this text, but go to File, make a copy, and duplicate the worksheet to start filling it in. That's what I tell them. And you can italicize it. Sometimes I'll put like a bright color behind it so that they are sure to see it, or you can just have it be kind of a light color, however you want to style it. But essentially this just gives them instructions so they know how they can edit the worksheet. All right, that is how you make a branded worksheet in Google Docs. It's super easy and super fun. And yeah, and then you're on branding. You look really professional and consistent across all of your touch points with your clients and with your audience. Now, actually, I have this Google Doc for you to save you a little bit of time. If there's a link below this video where you can actually go and get this branded Google Doc that's branded for my brand. And if you come in here and you make a copy, then you'll be able to edit it on your computer, and you can just come in the header here, switch out the image. You can just click on this and click edit and change the color. You can put in your own fonts and everything and change the URL to be your website. And then it's easy. All right, that's what I've got for you. If that was helpful, then definitely hit the subscribe button so that you get future videos and tech tools to up-level your coaching business.